So President Biden thinks democracy can survive even if Democrats are not in charge of Congress.
The president is optimistic. He is an optimistic, you know this, Peter. He is an optimistic person.
Comment that there's an alarming number of Republicans who are saying they're not going to accept election results. Does that mean President Biden thinks it is a threat to democracy if somebody votes Republican?
No, that's a ridiculous question. No.
Why is that a ridiculous question?
Because American people should have their right to vote for whomever they want.
Thank you. Jen Psaki said from that podium in summer of 2021, quote, "We are flagging problematic posts for Facebook that spread disinformation." Can you tell us whether the White House is still flagging social media posts for disinformation, and are you submitting those to Facebook through a special portal?
Can you say a little bit more?
Yeah, there was reporting in The Intercept about opportunities for the federal government to identify for social media companies different posts that contained what was perceived as misinformation.
Yeah, look, I'll say this. The administration, the Biden administration remains fully committed to our mission to protect the security and resilience. The Disinformation Governance Board was established. In fact, some of that work began before this administration. So, I want to be very clear that cross-agency work continues to this day. Don't want to get ahead of anything else. This is a Department of Homeland Security, so I would refer you to them.
So you are flagging misinformation?
I don't have anything more to add. This is a Department of Homeland Security.
The news just broke. The Fed did raise rates by the 75 basis points. Just following up to see if you did want to share anything now that the news is out.
This happens to me all the time up here. Okay, so I'll say a couple of things. Again, this presidency, our view is that the Fed is a independent agency, and we respect their independence. This is part of our transition to stable and more stable and steady growth, as you hear us speak about from our economic team, and also from myself and from the president. And again, stable and steady growth with lower inflation. This is the kind of economy that delivers for working families, and that's how we see the work of the.
One more question, and I know we keep asking it, but I'm going to try it from a different angle.
I wonder what the question's going to be.
I don't know what I'm going to ask.
The president of the White House Correspondents Association.
So I went back. Every president since Bill Clinton has immediately after the midterm election held a lengthy press conference to talk about the results, to answer questions from reporters about what it means for his presidency. Ronald Reagan did it too. And just today, you haven't yet committed to holding a press conference on the 9th. Does this mean that President Biden is going to break with this tradition?
Look, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to get far ahead of where we are currently. I'm sure the president will take your questions like he does almost every day, and that we will address the elections the day after Election Day. And I'm just going to leave it there, not going to get ahead. I'm sure that the president again will make his voice very clear the day after Election Day, and I'll leave it there. I understand the question. I appreciate the question, and I'm happy to answer it every time it's asked.